Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a Cricut 101 video for you. We are working with digital images. So I have a previous video that I will definitely link on how to print and then cut digital images, just like this. The pages that we get from companies, these are from By the Well for God, from their True North devotional. But there are times when you may want to isolate an image. So you may want to just be printing out and cutting this boat over and over again, or maybe you're wanting to enlarge it or combine it with a different image. I'd like to show you how to isolate images in Cricut Design Space and then use them in different ways so that you can customize your printables and get the most out of all of your digital files. All right, let's head over to my computer and I will show you how it's done. Let's go. Okay, before we go to isolate the image that we are looking for on Cricut Design Space, what I want to do is open up my PDF. So this is a True North digital from By the Well for God, and the image I'm going to want to use is this gorgeous lighthouse. I want to work with that image. So I have opened up my PDF. I am now going to save it. I'm going to export. And instead of exporting it as a PDF, I'm going to export it as a PNG file. Right there, I'm putting it in that same folder so I know where it is. I'll save that. So now it's a PNG file. You can also save it as a JPEG file. I just like PNG when I'm working in Cricut Design Space. Okay, once you open Design Space, then you're going to want to start a new project, and over here on the left is the upload button. So you will click that and you're going to want to upload an image right here. And I'll browse and find that same file that I was looking for earlier. There it is with my lighthouse. So I will open that image. Now you have three different image types. Generally, you're going to want to pick complex. It would have to be a really, really simple image to fall into this category. Most of the images that I'm working with are complex, so I choose that and then hit continue. And now you can see I have my image here. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit and it does the whole image. Now, all I want to do is work with this lighthouse. If I were to just erase this, erase the background, so all I had to do was click because I'm on the select and erase. Now I have all of these, but it's still one large image, if that makes sense. So when I go into Cricut, when I go into the Design Space app and start to work with it, it's just going to still be one large image. I want to just isolate the one image that I am planning on working with, which is right here. So the next tool I'm going to use is the crop tool right up here, and I'm going to use that to select the area that I am working with right here. So now I've isolated it even more. I really want to just work with this image right here. So I'm going to come back to the erase tool and I'm going to go ahead and slide mine up pretty large because I can get a pretty good idea of where I want to erase. And I'm just going to click and hold and erase all of the extra stuff that I don't want. Now, let's see what that looks like. A good test after you feel like you have your image, click continue, and you can see on the cut image, it has all of this extra stuff around it. These are just parts of the image that did not get erased. I don't want my Cricut to cut that out when I am working with the image. So I'm going to come back and hit the back button. I will zoom in even more so I can see, and I'm going to come back to that erase tool. Now there was some over here in the corner, and then if you see there's some kind of just lining this lighthouse, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to move my erase tool little by little all around the edge and clean up this lighthouse. And all I'm doing is I'm moving it over slightly, clicking, and it's erasing what's under there. I can also change the size of my eraser if I'm feeling rather confident. That's probably too big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And again, I'm just moving slowly around the edges of my image. Now, that's going to get a little bit more complicated when you get to the grass section over here. So I'm going to want to make this smaller and zoom in even more so that I can see the little extra bits and pieces. Now, because of the type of image this is, it's the hand-drawn, painted look, it's going to be hard to get just a really crisp, clear line around the image. But I do plan to print this on clear sticker paper to use in a Bible journaling entry. So it's okay if it has a little bit of extra. As I come right here around the edge, trying to get all the pieces I can. I'm going to make my tool bigger again. I usually constantly adjust the size of my tool as I'm working with an image just based on where I am in the shape of that tool, trying to be as efficient as possible. And taking my time. If I were to accidentally make mistakes, say I dragged it over here and erase something that I didn't mean to erase, you can always press the undo button right up here and that will come right back. So no fear if you are practicing or if this is your first time trying out how to isolate an image. Just working my way around slowly but surely to get rid of all of the extra little bits that I can see. Okay, I've gone all the way around the lighthouse. Let's take a look at our cut image to see how we did. Much better. There is a little bit left over here and down here that I want to isolate again, just to make sure it is as clean as possible. Okay, not bad. So I have my cut image here and my printed image here. You're going to want to save it as a print then cut, and I'm going to just call this True North Lighthouse. Right there. Save. And then when I have my image down here, I can click on it and insert it into my design space. So here is why you may want to isolate an image. I have my lighthouse here. I'm going to rotate it so that it is standing upright, and now I can resize it. If I wanted to make it larger, say I want it to fill the margins of my Bible, I want a really large piece right here. I have it ready to go. So now I could just print that. So when I click make it, you can see it's going to fill that whole paper. And I can also add to the image. Let me show you what I mean. Say I already knew text that I wanted to put right there. So maybe I want to put my journaling, something like that. So I can insert some text right here. Okay, so I have my prayer right here. I'm going to select that and let's change the size down to 12 point. And I can then move this and maybe I want to have it going up my lighthouse. So I can size it down. Oops. And kind of put it right here. I can change the font. Let's do, that is really pretty. Let me just change that. We're going to make this one bigger. Move it just over here. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so I have my journaling. I wanted to put it right there. So now I'm going to select all and I'm going to attach those together. Now when I click make it, it is all in one setting. So you can see over here it has 3 runs that it would need to do. I can print this on my printer and that will print the image right here. Then I will draw on top with the Cricut pen in my Cricut, and then it would cut out the whole thing. For me, I wouldn't really want to cut this out because I would cut it on clear sticker paper, but that's just an example of how you can layer different pieces together as you're working. Let me show you another example of something you might want to do to isolate an image. So I'm going to upload an image, and this time I'm going to come to this whale that I worked with earlier, and it is so beautiful. Love, love, love it. And this time I want to layer the image within my Cricut, and let's work with that a little bit. So let's go to upload. We're going to upload an image, browse. Let's see. We're going to come back to this true north where that whale was, opening that image, hitting complex, continue. Now what I want to isolate is this compass right here. So I will go to my crop tool, do my best to kind of isolate that particular image. You can see almost got it completely. Now I just want to erase this little section right there, and then click and erase all of the extra stuff around it. So now I have that image. I can press continue. Looks like a clean image right here. So I will do save as a print, then cut. And then I can insert that image. So now I have my compass right here, and I can layer it. Say I want to layer it behind my whale. Maybe I wanted it, yeah. If I had it over here, let's move the whale down and say that I want to rotate it like this. And then I want to arrange, I want to send it backwards. So now I have the two together right there. So I can group them together because I like that arrangement. And I will group them, and I'm going to attach them. So now it will print like this. So when I go to make it, oh, it's too large. Let me get it smaller. Okay, now when I go to make it, you can see that it's put those images together. So if I were to print this on clear sticker paper, then it would be a beautiful combined image to put into my journaling without adding a lot of bulk to my Bible. Let's give that a try. Another reason that you may want to isolate an image is to have multiples of that image that you can cut out. So let's give that a try. Let's go back to uploading an image. We'll click browse, and I'm looking for this image right here. Oops. Picked the wrong one. This image right here. The PNG. I've accidentally picked the wrong version of that. So I want to isolate that wheel. Again, I'm going to pick complex, continue. Here is my wheel. The very first thing I'm going to do is crop away unnecessary pieces. So I'll come right in here and get as close to the image as I can. There we go. Now I'm going to do the select and erase, because I can erase the majority of what's going on. And then I will come to my erase tool, make it a little bit bigger, and erase the edge of some of these other images. And there it is. Let's go to continue. Looks like a pretty clean file right there. So I will save as a print then cut image. save, and then I want to go ahead and insert that image. So maybe let's rotate this one around. So maybe I'm wanting to use this as a tab over and over in my devotional. So I'll put that right there. I'm planning on using this over and over. So I want it to be about 2 inches wide. And I'm going to rotate 270. So it's okay. So I have my image just like how I want it. I am going to duplicate it 14 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1 for each day of the devotional. And then when I click make it, I can actually just leave them like this. When I click make it, it sorts those out. So now I can print those and then cut them out individually so that I can have 14 tabs. Let's give that a try. So you can see that by isolating the images I wanted to work with and manipulating them in Cricut Design Space, I was able to get a lot more out of my digital printables that I can use in journaling and other projects. So give that a try. Work on isolating, see how you can get the most out of your printables. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have links down below to all of the supplies I use, so make sure to check those out as well. I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.